Jolan True Attack Wing fans, and welcome to another Antares shipyard video here on YouTube. My name is Jerry, and I am one of the hosts of the Captain's Table, a live stream show over on Twitch. The link will be in the description below if you want to go check that out. In this video, we are covering the Klingon Faction Pack that just came out not too long ago, Blood Oath. This is actually parts number 3 in the series. This will be covering the crew that come in that faction pack. And if you're unfamiliar with the premise of the Captain's Table, what we do is we take a deep dive look into the cards that come in the faction packs. So it's outside of a standard unboxing video. So we look at each card, we read the abilities off, and then we try and find the best combos that exist in the game for the card, the best strengths, the weaknesses, the best builds that the card may fit into, and just overall where the card fits into the scheme of Attack Wing today. As always, it's not just me in the video. The Captain's Table is a roundtable discussion, and there are multiple people who are involved. I am one of the hosts. The other host of the show is David Montgomery from the Shipyard. You can find his YouTube channel in the description below as well. Recommend going and giving him a watch. And then our special guest from the community is Dan Ward. It was great to have Dan on for this episode. And again, we're covering the crew that came in the Klingon Faction Pack. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll put the timestamps for the particular crew in the description below as well. In the description box, you'll also find links to the Facebook page for the Antares Shipyard. You'll find the Discord server, so we can come on over and continue the conversation there. And you can find the link for the Twitch channel. Other than that, I hope you enjoy the video and live long and prosper. Alright, so moving on to the first crew of the pack is Yeto. And he's coming from the episode where I believe there were 2 Klingons. We've already got one of them in the game, but there were 2 Klingons that boarded Deep Space Nine during an ion storm to try and steal the Trill symbiote from Dax. So we got action. Discard this card and target an opposing ship that has no active shields. Range 1 to 2. Disable 1 crew upgrade on the target ship and or steal 1 crew upgrade from the target ship, ignoring this ship's restrictions. Stealing is interesting. Instead of disabling, honestly, if I'm playing the card, I don't know if I'm disabling any crew. I'm definitely going to be stealing if I'm playing the card.
Well, why not both?
You can do both.
Oh, you can do both, can't you? And or.
Yeah.
And or.
Well, yeah, then I'm definitely doing both. No active shields, so this can work against the cloaked ship.
Mm-hmm.
So you can... I mean, if you're on a Klingon ship, you could steal Cloaking Worf if you don't have him. Well, that'd be an interesting way to get him in twice into your fleet.
I saw this as a way of taking those builds that have, like you said earlier, Jerry, that linchpin card.
Yeah.
That you can take away and pretty much totally demolish their ability to do what they planned.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this is I think this card's good. I don't know if there's any really necessary combos that you have to do with this card. I think
Projected stasis field.
Oh, yeah. Lowering the shields.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good combo. Yeah, I can see that working fairly well. Yeah, I think you use this against either a ship that you did that on or a cloaked ship. I don't think there's really any other necessary combos with this card. I think it definitely stands on its own.
And that's a really nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, not every card needs a combo. I mean, I like the card. Now that I see the and or, that's great.
It is.
I mean, you're discarding this. It's an action, so you're using your action economy, which is fine. Especially if you're disabling and taking a crew. That's almost 2 actions for the price of 1. Range 1 to 2, and like Dan said, you find that linchpin card. A lot of times it's a crew. You can pull that crew, and then you can disable a crew for fun. Yeah, I like the card. How about you, Dave?
Oh, I like the card. And I should note projected stasis field should be on a different ship for maximum efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For 2 actions.
Let's just be clear.
Yep. Yeah.
And do you think Yeto should go on a lower skill captain so when he activates first, he can do this?
I would build with projected stasis field on the lowest, and then Yeto with the next one.
Okay.
Just so that if you need to 1-2 a ship, then you can hit him first with PSF and then second with Yeto. Because you don't want to be stuck going, I don't have any ships with no shields, so what do I do?
That's true.
Yeah.
Because a good player is going to see this card and go, oh, I can't cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Or I can only cloak if I'm okay losing my crew on that ship.
Yeah, that's a good point. It could definitely make them target that ship first, because they're going to be worried about losing said linchpin. So the chat has offered a couple of different cards. Borg tractor beam is another way it could make it work.
Got some high-end spenders there. I like it. I mean, yeah, it's a combo. It'll work.
Yeah. So here is Borg tractor beam. Oh, let's scale it up a little more. So there's Borg tractor beam. That could work. The other card that is interesting that they brought up, and I don't know why I didn't think of it, but Uhura. Yeah. Just to extend the range of that card. Oh, let's get that out of there. So yeah, you got Uhura, who's going to extend the range of Yeto up to range 3.
And projected stasis field.
True.
Yeah.
And or Borg tractor beam.
Yeah, so I think if you're going to run the card, as you said, Dave, you're going to have projected stasis field. Oh, well, because if you put projected stasis field on a different ship, you're gonna have to decide which ship Uhura is going to be on.
Yeah, send a low skill ship in to die. Seriously, if the low point ship goes in further and does their job of hitting a ship with projected stasis field, then Yeto can hang back because Yeto's wanting to steal something.
Yeah.
That means you want that ship to be around for longer, which Uhura should be on Yeto's ship.
Yeah, I think I agree with that logic. I can definitely see.
Yeah.
I can see where that works. So there we go. So you get a sacrificial ship with projected stasis field, low captain skill. Fire that off. If your opponent's ship isn't cloaked, get strip their shields. Use Uhura to extend Yeto up to range 1 to 3, and pull whatever crew you wanted off that ship. I think it's definitely interesting. That's another way to, like I said earlier, to try and get a second copy of Cloaking Worf off somebody else's Klingon fleet if they're running him. But you'd have to have him on a Klingon ship, otherwise he's going to discard. I think that was the ruling anyway. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Because he's faction locked to a Klingon ship, or a Klingon captain.
Yeah, that sounds right, but don't quote me on things.
Yeah, we're getting too far in it. So yeah, Yeto, I like it. I like the ability. I mean, it took me till just now to see the and or, to be honest. So, having seen that, I do like it. I think it's got a place, and it's definitely a card that could stand on its own. But there are cards that can complement it too. So, I think that's a great design overall. Now, moving on to the next crew, number 15 in the pack here. So we're at 15 out of 28. We're not covering all 28 because some of them are copies. But we've got Kolana. When one or more time tokens would be placed on a weapon upgrade equipped to this ship, place one fewer time tokens. If this ship is cloaked and it's a Klingon weapon upgrade, place two fewer time tokens instead. Alright, I'm going to throw it over to Dan. Let's see what you think.
I like this card, especially if you can stay cloaked and have the ability to use a secondary weapon twice, or not twice, but in successive rounds. So, okay, I haven't really looked at all the weapons yet to see which one would work best, but I'm thinking it could be very useful, especially if you get behind someone, you fly past them.
Yeah.
It could be pretty devastating.
I definitely agree with you, and I have some options in mind where I like this card. But let's throw it over to Dave first, and then we can move into that direction.
Ferengi photon torpedoes.
Yep.
They take 2 time tokens. Now you only need 1 copy.
That's true.
So 1 time token, you're paying the same cost, except probably less because no faction penalty. Although harder to discount crew than weapons, but that's a different story. But yeah, really, if you're going to make her useful, then you probably want more than just a single copy of Ferengi photon torpedoes. You'd want to be looking at some of these other Klingon weapons, which I'm sure we'll dive into. But yeah, I think Kolana at least plays an interesting role. I'm happy to have a good time token discounter that's a little more specialized.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely think Ferengi photon torpedoes was one of the bigger weapons I was thinking of. Mainly because there is a build that I run with the Scimitar, where I've got a couple copies of Ferengi photon torpedoes. But I may not need to run a couple copies now in Lurin, because Lurin will discount those torpedoes. So there's some room for her. But one of the other weapons I was thinking of was the Klingon photon torpedoes from the Raptor pack. So now when you do have to have the target lock to fire, but you don't use the target lock to fire, and you place 2 time tokens on it. But now it's a Klingon weapon, and Kolana is saying, hey, you don't need to put 2 time tokens on this weapon, and it's ready to go next round. So I think that's definitely one option to be looking at with Kolana. And the other option is improved phasers. So I think she can go on a Federation ship. You don't, because the second half of her ability is for a Klingon weapon. She's not locked to anything. So with improved phasers, you put 2 time tokens on. She says 1 fewer. Now all of a sudden she's taking place of Arsenal, just not giving you that weapon slot. But she's cheaper. So you could put her with improved phasers on, say, the USS Reliant, where all of a sudden you're getting a 4 attack from improved phasers. Whoops. Come on, let go. Okay. There we go. Let's get photon torpedoes out there. So you're getting a 4 attack from improved phasers. On top of that, it's treated like a primary weapon, so you're getting the range bonus, which the Reliant then all of a sudden kicks in. So now you've got a 6 dice attack pretty much every turn, range 1 to 3. I don't know what you guys think about that.
Nice trick.
I just want to make the Reliant useful again. I think you throw maybe Captain James T. Kirk from the Animated Faction Pack on, and you're throwing down a battle station, and you can put another crew on for some kind of defense, for defensive quality. Yeah, I think that's an option. I like Kolana. Someone's saying Disruptor Blast could be fun from the D7s.
Oh, yeah.
Let's pull that card. Disruptor Blast or Animated Core could keep her going. Animated Core could keep her going. I don't know about that one. Does Core... I don't think Animated Core stops. I mean...
No, but it's a nice combo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make the weapons more powerful.
Make the weapons more powerful, stay cloaked, adding a hit, yeah. That could be nice. I think I like Disruptor Blast. Let's get that one out here. Throw Core off to the side. Disruptor Blast, now she makes Disruptor Blast 1-time token, which you get to use every turn if you're a D7. Well, you get to use every turn. And then if you're a D7, so you get to make 2 attacks each turn. I do like that.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that. Alright, so let's move on to the next crew. And that is Mara. That would be Kang's wife from the original series. Add the scan action to the ship's action bar. When the captain of the ship would be disabled or discarded, discard this card instead. 2 points. Klingon Faction. Here's a cheaper option for Leonalis.
Mm-hmm.
That could pair well with Kang.
Or as I like to say, porque no los dos.
It gives the Klingons access to a scan token that they never had before. At least not on some of their other ships. I think the Raptor's the only one that has it. I don't remember.
Yes, I'm trying to think if a random D7 has it, but I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. There's that one random D7 that does not cloak from the Animated Faction Pack, but I don't remember what its action bar is off the top of my head. I guess I can look.
Because I know the Groth has battle stations, and yeah.
The Divisor is the one I'm thinking of, and no, it's only got a Vade target lock battle station.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, she gives access to the scan token, which could be... I mean, pair her with Mr. Spock, maybe? That's an expensive combo, but it's a combo.
That's a really expensive combo.
Yeah.
I want to say her main use is the bottom half. She's one
Yeah.
more use, and I think we already covered it. She's one more use of Kang.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, she is his wife. So yeah, I think that's the play with her, is to keep Kang around a little bit longer. I don't really think there's any other combos that really matter with her. Do you guys have anything else to add to her outside of that?
I
No,
do
not
not.
really.
Okay. That one's an easy one. She's a good card. Alright, next one is Klingon Gunner. 1 per ship. When attacking, during the modify attack dice step, discard this card and add 1 hit. It is a 2-point Klingon upgrade. Isn't there a thing called Klingon Beck? Isn't this what this card is?
Certainly feels like it.
Yeah, Klingon. Well, okay. Klingon Beck
Mhm.
converts 1 hit to a crit.
Yeah, so in some ways I like Gunner a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, converting has its place, and I've done it. This is Punivas. Yep. Discard to add a hit. So now you can run both.
Hmm.
And Chemosite and Kang and add 3
Yeah.
hits and 2 crits to
2
your attack.
crits. Yes.
Oh, just pile it on.
It's the Kang alpha kill. I'm telling
Ooh.
you.
I think you're right, David. I think you're right.
And you've got Mara or Lee Nollis to stick around so that you get 1 more use out of it, out of Kang.
Huh?
Here's a card that the chat has suggested that would work.
You don't want to go down the Kang route, yeah.
Yeah.
Wayun's a good one with that. Then you've got a hit, disable Wayun. You still got a hit. I don't love it because then ultimately you're going to have to re-enable Wayun to add
Yeah.
a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works better, as they said in the chat. It works better with Captain's Chair.
Yes.
Just because you can re-enable Wayun, but with resources being what they are at the moment, outside of Fremont, they're a no-go. So, but I do like that Wayun Captain's Chair. That's a good combo.
It's a neat combo. Even Wayun to protect a crew is a nice ability.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think, as you said, if you're playing this card, it's in that core Alpha Strike. I really like that, and that's definitely an idea I might be building on after we're done here.
Darn, I came up with stuff and I'm letting it go on live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even pay-per-view.
Everyone's going to be playing this.
I have reshaped the meta. I'm bending it to my will right now. Dance, puppets, dance.
So yeah, I think Klingon Gunner is a good card. What do you think of it, Dan?
I liked it, and I thought pairing it with Kang and any other card that's going to give me an additional hit or crit, I just think, yes, very powerful for me.
Yeah. They're saying, chat's saying maybe Gold Press Latinum might work with it. If you're bringing a card back, you'd be spending 2 Gold Press Latinum to bring it back. The Ferengi ship that brings back cards, I believe that's Goss's Marauder, and that only brings back Ferengi cards. I believe that's what you're referencing.
Nitpicky words. Always stopping us from doing what we want to do.
Yeah, I mean, Gold Press Latinum could work. The problem is you don't have so much of it. You have to learn how to bank it.
And then you're running a Ferengi captain, which means you're not running Kang, which...
I mean, you could technically run lore, but again, you're spending a lot of money, or not a lot of money. You're spending a lot of points on running, the rules of acquisition to get gold press platinum onto him as an elite talent.
Ooh.
It's not something. It's a path to go down. It's not one that I would.
No, but it's nice to know it exists.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What have I done?
Oh, I wasn't planning on it.
Okay.
Well, you gotta get this show's. This show is all about giving people options,
Oh yeah.
making people go, "Oh, I can do that. Oh, I hadn't thought about that."
Yeah. To be completely honest, I consider this show a success. If one person walks away with this going, man, I never thought of that combo, and I'm going to start using it, and that's good. That's what I want. That's all I want.
And even if you don't use something we suggested, but it made you think of something else, then same thing, success.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. It caused you to look at things just a little differently and have new ideas.
Yeah. All right, so moving on from Klingon Gunner, we have Chatarg. In phase, remove an aux power token besides this ship. Flip the ship's cloak token to its green side. I do like this card. I know a lot of people. There were some of the. I don't want to name names. It's not how I want to do things. I know people don't like this aux power removal thing that's coming into existence with the game. But this card, I like this card, and it's got a couple of combos that I know that I like. But we'll start with you, Dan, this time. What do you think of Chatarg?
Well, I like the ability to stay cloaked, obviously. Yes. I don't usually run fleets that do a lot of cloaking, but with some of these new cards, I'm looking at it more seriously to see it as an option. I didn't run cloak usually because I always found when I had to drop my cloak, I got myself beat up really hard. So I haven't looked at this too close, but I do like the possibilities that it's going to present for me.
Yeah. How about you, Dave? What do you think?
So I'm thinking of two things right now. Option one, pairing him with core from this pack to maybe someday let me see in action again.
Okay.
Option two is to put him on, let's say, the ISS Defiant and just let him chip away at aux power, almost forgetting about the cloak ability. Now, I know that's a pricey use of him, but he just sits there, and every round he's going to remove an aux power token, and maybe I add one, maybe I add two, maybe I don't add any. Maybe it's a pointless endeavor, because I think a lot of times with the Defiant, you kind of go, I'm okay never seeing an action again. But there's at least a time where you can say, well, this works to let me get back to that position where I can take an action if I don't get shot for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I had a couple of options come to mind when I saw this card. The first one, and none of them, he's not getting paired with another Klingon ship. Because you can run him on a Romulan ship with, say, advanced cloaking. Where, well, I guess you don't want to do that because you're already staying cloaked. That's not a good example. Oh, you know what? I just, the two combos I had thought of, they're busted. Because he's making sure your ship is going to stay cloaked. I guess.
Scimitar take an aux?
It does, but it stays cloaked. Yeah, because I pulled that card too.
Okay.
Those are my two thoughts were the Scimitar and or another ship that's running advanced cloaking, but Chitarg's already doing that. He's already.
Admiral Worf.
Okay.
Admiral Worf, because the ship with Admiral Worf, or that uses Admiral Worf, takes the Ox Power token.
Yeah.
And since this is in the in phase, it doesn't matter how many times you attack, your cloak token will be red, and then you get rid of your Ox and you go green. Right? All those other
Yeah.
cards that say prevent your cloak token from flipping, if you attack twice, it flips the second time.
Mm.
So now Chitarg says the last time, okay, now come back to the green.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sold on that. I like that.
So Chitarg would go on the small ship that is going to be taking the action, or is going to be targeted by the action of Worf. That will have the Ox Power token on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's probably the best combo, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything else I thought of was busted, and I'm surprised. Man,
Hey, that's why we do this.
I was all proud of myself. I was like, yeah, all right, this is gonna work. This is great. Nope. He already does it. Does it better. But that's okay. So yeah, I think Chitarg paired with Admiral Worf, giving that lower ship an attack while that ship takes an Ox Power. So Chitarg's definitely going to be want to be on that lower ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that works. I think that's good. I like Chitarg. Again, I think these faction packs are great. I think the abilities are moving in the correct direction, if you ask me. From in you guys, with you being around as long as you have in the game, I think you guys will agree with me that it used to be, well, you'd get one of the blisters, and you'd have all these cards, and you'd have some good cards, and then just cards that you put in the binder and never see again. It seems like with these faction packs, the cards are a step up where they possibly could see play. Whether it's competitive or mission play or just at home play, they're going to get played.
Well, I would agree, Jerry, and I know we've talked about this. The ability for new players, I think this is really great for new players because, as you said in the past, you couldn't always get all the right cards. And if you started the game late, you had to go on eBay or somewhere and spend lots of money to get stuff. Where here, almost any pack, I think you can build a decent fleet from that pack and play and feel good about what you're doing without having to have all the go-to cards that have come into existence.
If I can math nerd for a moment.
No.
No? Oh,
No. I'm a biologist. You can't math nerd. No.
okay, statistics
Just teasing,
nerd?
Dave. Yes,
know.
I can do that.
Okay, so I feel like in the blisters, the ship packs, what happened for the first few years of the game, you got a lot. You got almost you got two peaks and a valley in the middle. So you got a lot of like A, B cards, not many C cards, and a lot of D's and F's. Now it feels more like a normal distribution, maybe a little skewed towards the B range, where, yeah, there's a few really good cards, there's a few A's, there's more B's, C's, there's a couple of bad cards, not terrible cards, maybe not so many F's, but there's some D's, some not super playable cards. But
yeah,
it's a more well-rounded distribution.
Yeah.
So it seems to work a whole lot better now, where you can buy just about any product and you'll still end up with playable material.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so Chitarg is our last group.